So, you know what I found out the other day? Thanks to Reddit. God bless Reddit, the best site on the internet. Definitely nothing wrong going on Reddit. Yeah. So there's really groups for everything. One group that discovered, I think they were called Oxygenarian. Basically people who...
like oxygen?
Yeah, who only snort xenon and go to the side of that until they get hospitalized and have to, get resuscitated with actual fluids and everything. Yeah, but there's even a weirder group of people who was actually a subsection of a very popular and controversial movement that we've talked about in the past. So apparently, there's a subgroup of incels who actively promote transitioning into a woman just so your life becomes easier. I think I saw a Reddit post of a person basically writing a testament to their experience after they transitioned, and suddenly everything got better. Like, in their own words, the grass was greener, I could go out and enjoy the birds singing, everything got better, people started treating me better, and he was basically shilling that if you're an incel and you really hate your life, you should transition into being a woman and everything will be better. Now, he probably didn't consider the variable that he had those urges and needs even before he became an incel, and by fulfilling them, he finally felt at peace with himself. But yeah, what do you think? Should we transition if we don't like how hard life is treating us as men?
I mean, I have nothing against transitioning. Like, I really don't have anything against transitioning. As long as it's your own option and you haven't been influenced by anyone on the internet. That's all I have to say about this. Yeah. However, about Reddit. There was also, I saw this YouTube video. I'm gonna try and find it. It was a documentary of a subreddit or No, it was a 4chan. It was a 4chan Reddit thingy.
Even worse. Even worse. Oh god.
Where people were like, "Oh, I'm a robot. I don't leave the house. Blah blah blah. I'm a male." It was mostly males who don't shower, who don't go outside, who don't have friends.
Imagine my surprise.
Right? And there's one guy. He decided to make a Discord group. I mean, server, not group. The only way to join it is if you either become a femboy or if you transition. People joined. People joined.
Strict entry requirements, goddamn. Goddamn.
And to me, that just shows that most people just want to be accepted. With the thing now that you said about, what was the subreddit again?
Which one?
The one you mentioned earlier.
Oh yeah, what the incels trying to transition.
Yeah, what was the name of it?
Oh, I don't remember the name.
Oh, okay, never mind.
I think it was something incels transitioning.
Okay, whatever.
I don't know.
It's weird to me how most people who transition from female to male are finding life to be very hard.
Yeah.
And then, most people who transition from male to female are always saying, well, it's a bit better. It's not a lot better, but it's a bit better. And I personally think that the whole point of incels transitioning, I'm gonna come back to the 4chan thing, was because, if I can't have a girlfriend, I'm gonna become the girlfriend. And you know what's the thing? Sure, you will become the girlfriend. Do you know who your boyfriend's gonna be? The other incels on the fucking subreddit or 4chan thingy. To me, that just screams attention. At least to me. Because you're not doing it because you feel like the other sex. You don't feel like that. You just do it because you want to be accepted and you want people to like you.
Yeah.
That's not a righteous...
Yeah, you want your niche group to approve of you, basically.
Yeah. And to me, that's not a good thing.
Yeah.
Again, if you think that you should transition because you feel like you should transition, do it. if you transition because you're an incel,
Yeah.
you know, what's the point?
Yeah.
You're still an incel. You're still the same idiot. I'm not saying you're an idiot because you transition. As previous videos, we hate fucking incels and femcells. That's all I'm saying. Just like throwing it out there. But am I wrong for thinking that people who transition because of their peers, they don't know what they're doing. They simply don't know what they're doing.
No, you're right. You're completely right. Well, when you mentioned earlier that some people when they transition, like, okay, this is a lot worse than I expected. Like, this is slightly better. This is like the same. It reminded me of a comment that what was the guy from the UFC called? Sean Stackland or?
Oh yeah, the champion now.
Yeah, the champion. Yeah,
Sean something or something. I don't know.
Sean. I don't know how to say his name, but he said in an interview, if he's watching two females fight, he's rooting for the ugly one. In his own words, because ugly bitches have it hard in life. That's like, it's funny when he says it's so controversial. Yeah, but he's right.
Yeah,
like, he's completely right. Like, if you're an incel and you aren't good looking to start with, if you transition and you aren't good looking after you transition,
you're fucked.
Not only will you go through the arduous process of having to, replace your hormones, go through the therapy, go through all the social stigma, go through long, grueling months of, emotional ups and downs and what have you, just end up in the worst position where you are.
Yeah.
That is horrible. That isn't shooting yourself in the leg. That's shooting yourself in the toes, in the shin, in the kneecap, in the quads, and in your pelvis.
That's
shooting yourself over.
That's shooting a swanton bomb from
over broken glass.
Yeah.
Oh my god. like,
honestly,
I find it so funny how many people nowadays, when they have to fix a problem, they take a hammer to it, even though it requires a screwdriver.
Yeah.
Like, it requires a small change, like maybe go to a therapist. Alternatively, go to a kafana. Do something to make you enjoy life. Don't always look at the solutions that are a hammer. Don't always look at the drastic solutions.
The funny thing is, at least nowadays, in most countries, it's super, like in the Western countries, it's super easy to transition. If you want to get a gender reassignment surgery, reaffirming, whatever, you need to go to a therapist, but that therapist is not there to help you with your problems. That therapist is there to be like, okay, yeah, he actually or she actually feels like the different sex. Mm-hmm. I strongly believe that if you want to transition, it should not be an overnight process.
Yeah.
Like, it should not be an overnight process. Because most people just need therapy.
Yeah.
And that's why there's a lot of what's called detransitioning, right?
Yeah, detransitioning.
Like, there's a lot of cases of detransitioning because they didn't get the proper help.
Yeah.
Again,
or the experience wasn't what they expected.
Because most of those people were chronically online, they were peer pressured by their friends, and the only thing you're doing is you're ruining the perception of the people who actually want and need to transition.
Yeah.
That's why I don't support the whole incel thing transitioning nowadays, but what can you do, man?
You know what,
the doctors are getting good money out of it, you know?
Yeah. Now you just said it, it actually remind me of an interesting phenomenon that's going on in the trans community. And it's actually similar to what was happening in the bodybuilding weightlifting community in the late 90s, 2000s somewhere.
Steroids.
Yeah, steroids. Actually, no. I see, 20 years ago, there was a huge stigma about steroids. Nowadays, it's been sort of normalized because people have come to accept it. And I'm gonna hate how this is gonna sound, but the bro science has advanced to such a level. There's been enough discussion that
what the fuck is bro science?
Yeah, bro science is basically what your bro tells you.
Okay.
As an example, in the early 2000s, on internet forums, it's actually very hard to find reliable information about how to conduct a steroid cycle, about the effects of different steroids and what they do. And nowadays, I can do it easily with Google search.
Yeah.
It takes me 5 minutes to find myself, okay, a beginner steroid cycle, how many milligrams I have to take of a specific substance, what substance do I take, what do I take to recomp after it's done, and how should I care for my kidneys, my hair, my skin, what have you. A similar thing is happening in the trans community nowadays because it hasn't been talked about, and going through the proper channels, going to psychiatrist, to a doctor, to get prescribed the specific drugs you need, is a very expensive, time-consuming, and hard process.
Yep.
So lots of folks who just want a quick solution go to the internet, as happened with bodybuilders in the early 2000s. But because there hasn't been enough discussion, people will just tell you, okay, take this substance for this amount of time, increase this dose by this amount of time, and you should end up just fine. And the thing is, as with steroids, everybody's body reacts differently to different substances. And because there hasn't been enough discussion nowadays, there's a higher probability that the end result of you consuming a certain substance will bring about horrible results to your body. They won't be androgynous, they won't be they won't be the things you expect to happen, and the things you don't expect to happen. Your kidneys will give up, your skin health will go to shit, your hair may or may not fall out, your eyes will go shut, and it's just a slew of other problems.
I mean, now that we've been talking about this for 12 minutes.
Yeah.
You know who came to my mind when we mentioned incel transitioning? Chris Chan. Just look at that case. That's more than enough to show that the internet is not a good place for incels.
Yeah.
That's not a good place for incels. But I don't know, man. I'm gonna go on a rant, so I'm just gonna cut it here because
I mean, look,
I don't want to get cancelled.
the average incel hasn't received the hazing the Christian has over the years. Like,
Thankfully.
yeah.
Thankfully.
Whereas
I don't wish
yeah.
what happened to him or her, whatever. It's a her, right?
It's her now, yeah.
But whatever happened to Chris Chan, I don't wish upon anyone.
Yeah.
So I'm thankful that they don't have the same fucking treatment
Yeah.
Chris Chan had. But
Yeah. Let's end that possible. Let's end it before
let us know what your opinion on this topic is. And as always, we'll see you next time.
Peace.